Hello YouTube, this is William. This is what I've been kind of working on for, I don't know, several months. I just never could get the grind the way I wanted it to until just over the past three days or so, working on it off and on and going back to it and thinking about it. And so anyway, what I was looking for is I love the little point or tooth on the EDC and also on the WCNK. That little tooth part, it just bites into the wood, and so I love that part. I love that curve and that Scandi. And I kept saying, well, what if I married that to a full flat? Because a lot of people have been asking me, well, what about a full flat? What, and again, just a full flat knife doesn't fit my versatility mentality. The reason I do multi-grinds is because of the way I use knives. I don't use the entire blade the same, so I use compound grinds or multi-grinds to assist me in different tasks or to do different tasks better. Okay. And again, I'm not the first guy to come up with this. I've just kind of took the envelope and I'm expanding the envelope just a little bit more, pushing the boundaries just a little bit more. Same thing everybody's done for thousands of years. Okay, so anyway, so this is where we're at right now, and I showed this little Nessie on Facebook and also Instagram the other day. And basically what you have is you have a Scandi that goes into a full flat here, but you have that tooth. And just kind of give you an idea, I mean, it just, see how it just bites into the wood right there where that Scandi's at? I mean, it just hogs off some material. But at that flat, you can lay that blade down and do those fine curls. See, just like that. Or you can get that thick curls. You have more control. It's more versatile. Okay? So you get that slicing ability with full flats. You get that control on your curls a little bit better with your full flats. But that tooth right there, I mean, it just bites in. And just when you're trying to do notches or pot hangers or doing carving on camp, all that other stuff, I mean, it just it works. Knives at work, huh? So anyway, and also, I mean, you've got that flat part right there where you can do those slicing those vegetables and your hands out of the way and all this other good stuff. Okay, but then you have the Nessie comp to where it's a little bit less noticeable on this version, but you still have it to where your hands up out of the way when you're doing those skinning tasks. Somebody mentioned that they would rather have a belly on the next book. Yeah, if it was primarily for skinning, yeah, I could see that. But me, I use it. I want it more versatile, so I don't want necessarily a belly. I want to be able to do some fine carving. I love carving on camp, whittling, that type of thing. Just notching sticks, just piddling. And that's why I love that blade shape there. I mean, it's very versatile. Okay, whereas when you have a belly, sometimes it's not as versatile. Your tip's not as doesn't have as fine of a tip and things like that, to where you use that tip a lot, especially in small game and things like that. So I just think that for this size of knife, for what I was looking for, that is the perfect shape on that blade. Okay, because I was looking for something that was just more versatile on as far as a companion knife. Okay, to do some light feather sticks and light carving on camp, pot hangers, tent stakes, just whittling on a stick. Hey, we got to do that every now and then just to kind of relax. But anyway, that curved Scandi right there that goes, and as usual, all my blades, they look difficult, but they're not, folks. Everything, if it's not easy to sharpen, I don't make it. Okay, so I mean, you lay it on that Scandi right there and just follow it all the way around. That's all you do. If you can sharpen any Scandi, if you can sharpen a more Scandi, you can sharpen this knife. All right, just lay it on that Scandi and just follow it all the way around. That's all you do. It's easy. Easy peasy, nice and easy. All right. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the other different models that I've applied that same concept to. Here's a daily chore. I think it lends itself phenomenally to this grind. You know, and it's, might as well say it's a full flat. I kind of stopped it before I got to the spine. I didn't want to go all the way up to the spine, but it's a full flat. All right. So, but with the sweep of the blade down, you don't have as fine of a tooth as you do with a blade sweeping up. Okay, but it's there. It's a reinforced part right there. Another thing that does is when you're splitting kindling, not logs, kindling, okay? When you're batoning, you have that wedge there. So when you extend this Scandi out a little bit, that's where that blade rests when you're splitting that kindling, and so you have more strength there, okay? Whereas batoning a full flat on anything is very risky on anything, even kindling size wood. But if you have that Scandi portion right there, then that acts as a wedge, and it's reinforced, and it's a little bit stronger, so it's less likely to break. Now, everything breaks. Given the right circumstances, everything breaks. If you beat on it sideways, side pressure, it's going to break. All right? You got to hit it straight. All right? But it's less likely with that type of grind, okay? You got a little bit more of a, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but you have a little bit more flexibility, I guess, and it's less likely to damage the knife that way. But anyway, I think that is a very versatile grind. I really do. And on this daily chore, I think it lends itself to that grind very well. It's a very good, that's the reason I call it daily chore. I think it's a very good EDC knife. Now the Sportsman, here's my take on the Sportsman. I mean, you still have that Canadian belt knife appeal with the blade swept up, with that little bit of a belly there for skinning. So I still think that it follows that Sportsman criteria quite well. But you still have this little point right here. Now the other thing that you get with a Sportsman is you have that flat part right there for the slicing and dicing in the kitchen. I mean, you got to eat on camp, folks. A lot of people leave that part out. But not only do you have game prep with that little belly right there, but you also have that flat part for that slicing and dicing of those veggies and everything else that you do on camp, okay? Those mushrooms that you find, you slice them up, put them in butter, boy, that's some good stuff right there. So anyway, so you have that, but you also have that little bit reinforcement right there at that part. So as you're doing your kindling for your fires, you have added strength, okay? That's going to splitting power, that wedge, if you will. You also have a point here. That little tooth is back. So when you put it there, I mean, that wood ain't going anywhere. If you put a stick up there and try to put your knife on there and it's flat and it just slides off, that point just locks it in. It ain't going nowhere. All right? It just sticks with it. All right? So I'd give you time to get down there and get your baton and just tap it. Tap, 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 tap. You're right through it. Okay? So anyway, I think that the Sportsman is another very good candidate for this grind. So right now we've got the Nessie, we've got the Daily Chore, we've got the Sportsman. We also have, and I played around with it with the to the bone. I mean, it can be done, but I don't think that's a good option for that. I just like the to the bone the way it is. Even if you do the kind of the full flat, this is a very thin version. It's almost got too much flex. People said AEBL don't flex. AEBL will flex, folks. I mean, ding, right back to straight. All right. So anyway, that's just kind of playing around in the shop. And again, I've been grinding on this versions, trying to get this grind where it looks decent and looks right and it functions. Mostly it functions. And that's what I was looking for, and I finally got it. I think that this is a very, 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 very good grind. A very versatile grind. Here's a new design And this one, again, is very, very, very thin. This is a 16th inch. A lot of people was wanting some thin blades, so I come out with that fillet and boning knife that we're testing, and we're also, I've got this little skinner that we're going to be testing as well. So anyway, it's got plenty of blade there, so you can do the point and all that other good stuff. But it's a 16th inch blade. It still has the curve. That's a point, a very fine point. And I mean, when you're getting into the game and you're going around those legs, that point, I don't know if I can get it in the camera here, that point right there, I mean, it's just like a point of a razor blade when you're going around the ring in those legs and all of that good stuff when you're skinning out game. But it tell you what, I mean, it is such a versatile grind, especially with all these curves on this this knife. I mean, it just hogs some wood, and it's going to be a fantastic skinner too. You can almost be like a caping knife. You know, I don't know if you can get up there, and it has enough blade here to hold on to it. You just have to watch your fingers. But again, people say, "Oh, cut my finger." It all depends on how you train yourself. I mean, people have been using knives their whole life. They'll grab them up here on the blade. If you watch some of the old men use a knife, watch your grandmother use a knife. She's all over that knife. She don't hold it on the handle. She holds it on the blade. She holds it everywhere because she knows what she's doing. That's how she was trained. That's how she was taught by her mother and her grandmother. It goes all the way back to stone tools. They didn't have handles on stone tools, folks, and they still had their digits most of the time. All right? So it's just how you train yourself. And if you draw blood a few times, you'll change your habits. Trust me. But anyway, if you watch your grandfather and your grandmother, and people who use knives a lot, you'll see that they're just all over that blade, and it's just more versatile that way. It's better because safety is all about control. Okay, it doesn't matter how you hold the knife. It's all about control. And if your hand the closer your hand is to where you're cutting, the more control you have. So if you get your hand way up there where you're cutting, that's the most control. Okay. So anyway, I just thought maybe I'd give you guys a brief heads up of what I'm playing around with on this grind. And if you have some blades that's ordered, knives that's ordered, like a Sportsman or a Daily Chore or something like that, I don't think anybody's got any Sportsmans ordered at this point. But I'll put this grind option on my website. I don't think they have Sportsmans up anymore, but I'll put it back up so if you guys want that, because I think I really think that's going to be a very versatile, functional, useful grind for this knife. I really do. So anyway, give me your thoughts below. I know a lot of people don't like the idea of compound grinds. They think it's crazy, and they'd rather just have the straight blades, and that's all right. That's fine. If that's what you prefer, then by all means, that's what you should stick with. But if you ever try something a little different, if you try something that has a little bit more versatility to it, you may change your mind. All right? So, till the next one, you guys get in the backyard, whittle on stick, and if you want one of these knives, these different grinds, tell Jeff if you got one ordered through Jeff, and I'm sure that he will get back with me. And basically, I'm just calling it the Woodsman's Full Flat, okay? And that's pretty much what it's going to be. It's going to be that type of curve Scandi with that little tooth, if possible. Like I say, the Daily Chore don't have much of a tooth there because of the way the blade shape. But anyway, it's called the Woodsman's Full Flat, okay? So, anyway, you guys get in the backyard, whittle on stick. Be sure to take a child with you, get the opportunity. And don't forget those plenty of Band-Aids and lots of knives. I'm going to fire up the grill. We're going to cook us a steak. We might do a little video on it, too. We'll catch you guys again soon.